Welcome to Talking on the Moon, the first blockchain metaverse podcast studio on the moon. I'm here with my guest Rezinator, who's been like the wind beneath my I don't even know what you call it, my metaverse wings for so long, and I had to have him on here. So I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to introduce kind of how the hell we're even here. But before we get into that, I just want to ask you, how was the ride up here to the moon? And it's quite a distance from Earth. Was it all
It
right?
is, mate. It is. It took a while, but I got here eventually for sure. I'm a bit cold. I wouldn't mind getting this fire going.
Yeah, the problem with the fire is there's no oxygen up here, so it doesn't burn. So I'm
Makes
sorry
sense.
about all
Fair
that.
enough.
Yeah, it's I'm
No,
doing the
no.
best that I can here, but this has been the cheapest. It's not. It's the cheap. It's very expensive to get here, but it's
Yeah.
definitely been the cheapest podcast studio so far. Nobody's charged me a thing. I don't even know if they know that I'm up here. But I did put all
No.
these rocks around here just to keep us safe. There's some stuff going on the moon. There's some people
Yeah.
up here. There's some things I keep my distance. I don't ask no questions. So
Best way,
yeah,
mate.
so
Best way.
welcome here, welcome to the moon. Obviously we're not really on the moon. This is it's a metaverse, but we're in here. This is linked to one of my properties in Madagascar, and here we are talking on the moon. I figured I do podcasts. I've done podcasts before. I'm in this whole metaverse space. Why in the world wouldn't I build a podcast studio? So I built one in like an office, and as I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is stupid. Why would I recreate a building? Why don't I go on the moon? So here we are. So man, thanks for coming up here. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here
Yeah.
for sure.
So a little bit about you. You run Meta Party, and but you've just kind of gotten into the metaverse relatively recently. I mean, not like three
Yeah,
weeks ago, but like, what got you into it? How did you
for
like?
sure,
What
mate.
attracted you to it, and then what made you go, I'm going all in? Like, for anybody that doesn't know, like, they'll know at the end of this, like, how deep you've gone in. But
Yeah.
like, you. So go ahead.
So, about a year ago, I was watching some TikToks on my phone in lockdown in England when nothing was open, and I came across someone essentially bad mouthing Decentraland, saying the metaverse is here, it's the end of the human race, etc. So, I disagree with everything he was kind of saying about Decentraland and the metaverse as I was watching this 1 minute long video. So I decided to hop in it myself, getting Decentraland, create a MetaMask, which was a lot more challenging than I thought when I first got into the space. But once all that was set up, um, I kind of just immersed myself, met a few people in the space, like 100 rainbows. And yeah, it's all just like spiraled from there. I met Chris, who's also known as New Legends. And essentially, we began hosting events with you, Mike, in New Legends' original gallery at the 100 Rainbows Academy. And then
Yeah.
I was given operator rights on some land, and we put some more events together. We did it like once every 2 weeks at least, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sick,
Yeah.
man. It was such a good time.
And to be part of that too, like, it was really cool because New Legends reached out. Like, I mean, he Googled blockchain comedian and found me, and that was literally it. But like, so I guess before that, I mean, and you guys have explained, but like, you were throwing events, and it was like, why don't we have a comedian do this and to like have him jump in? And so even for me to just kind of plug into, like, I feel like of what goes on Meta Party, I'm there for like maybe 1.5% of it, because you guys do so much, like, and it's tough to keep up with. I mean, I keep
Yeah.
all the notifications on, like, but I mean, I see how busy you guys are, like, new scavenger hunt gears, claim here, and none of it seems. What's different and what's really unique to me is it's very like genuine. It's not like
Yeah,
it doesn't feel shilly at all, and it's very easy to get
exactly.
that in this space. But it's
For
fun. Like
sure.
like we were just talking about New Legends pink hoodie, which is becoming a
Yeah.
wearable now, which eventually like just started as a meme, and then
Yeah.
like actually what started is
Yeah.
him probably just wearing a pink hoodie, and somebody
Right.
called him out on it, which is the same thing for me, which blew me away, because there's an interview with the two of you, and each of you are
Yeah.
wearing a pink hoodie, and I'm like, wait a minute, hit the brakes, because I got a pink hoodie too, and I've been in this club, and it's like, man, we could have been talking about this a while ago. So no, I get it. No,
Yeah,
it's
for
really
sure,
cool.
man.
So it's interesting that that's what brought you here, because maybe that guy's a troll that made that one
Right.
minute video, and because a lot of times it's one thing to tell somebody that they can do something, but when you tell someone they can't, or when you tell someone something's bad, maybe that's what we should say. Everybody should
Right.
stay out of cryptocurrency, stay as far away from the metaverse as you possibly can. Don't even come. Like, don't waste your time. Stay in the real world, because look what it turned you into. I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
maybe you're a freak of nature, or maybe you're not, but like you literally, like if you jumped in like as as recent as like a year and change ago or whatever it was, like
yeah,
um, and then to take it to the point where you guys have like it's one of the you have a giant mega ramp skateboard park in your property, and it's you don't get that everywhere. Like I've told
no,
you, I've joked
you don't.
around where my dream was to be able to pull up in the Batmobile in the metaverse, jump out off my skateboard, skate up to this club, and then jump out and do comedy. And I'm
Yeah.
like right there. I'm like right there, damn near. Like I did stand up with you guys, and then like we went up to DJ Tracks. Shout out to him. He had a skate party, like a skate contest on the roof.
Yeah, yeah. It's sick,
So it's so
man. It's
cool.
so cool. I
I
also
guess after all that, this is tough to ask the next question. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just kind of want to circle back to what you were saying about how it's genuine. It doesn't come across as shilly. I remember when I first started doing this. Chris, who's New Legends, had to take some time away from the metaverse because he was moving countries. He moved back to England, and I essentially just kept steamrolling this and kept the consistency going. And while I was doing events by myself, while you were coming through and helping us, mate, the majority of it was essentially shilling, right? It was like, come to our Discord, join our Discord, check out our NFT, right? That's what it was to begin with. And, you
Sure.
quickly understand that that's not what builds a community. You can't just shill to your community and say, hey, come and buy my project or come and buy my product, that's not what's going to grow, an organic community around the project you've got going on. So we had to alter that and change it. And I think that's where you get the genuine feel from now is all the events we do in Decentraland are free to attend. We have plans coming up in March. The 12th of March is going to be our first ticketed Decentraland event. You have to buy an NFT ticket to come through, but we're still going to do like 6 or 7 free to attend events every single week. We do one every night. You don't have to have an NFT or a wearable to come through. You can literally just come chill in our skate park. You don't even have to have a skateboard wearable to be in the skate park. You can still run it up and down the ramps, get the same sort of feel for it without the board, right? Yeah, we do try and keep it as genuine and organic as possible. So I'm glad that you noticed that, mate.
Well, it's the feel is there for sure. I mean, come on, it's like trying to get into a relationship with somebody, and it's just like you can tell if someone's just trying to, sleep with you for the night and never talk to you ever again, or if it's just like somebody's like, wow, this is a genuine person. We could probably kick it, maybe even have a family together and get a picket fence. And that's the type of attitude that, like, with this community that comes along, where as long as they know that, like, look, man, you're not just trying to like pump and dump show these stupid NFTs or whatever, like something that actually has like cool value. Like my wearables, I love like everything that I've been donated. Like it's all come from the community. I have my ninja outfit. I got my pride earrings. I got my metaverse, my meta party sneakers. Like I don't ever want to take those red sneakers off. They look old school, like hip hop, bad as shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So
Man.
it's cool, but like, so it's fun. I don't know if those will ever become worth $60,000 one day. I don't give a shit. I get to take pictures of it and show like, yo, somebody sent me these.
Yeah,
These are cool.
yeah.
Or even like the different NFTs that like my own NFTs that have been made, like even while I'm performing, to know that you guys will put them up there on the wall, even for the time being. The one NFT you guys made of me, the pixel art a long time ago, I was like, this is insane. And that's the type of stuff that like I'm roped in.
We want to be doing this in the next, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. There's so many possibilities and potential around Meta Party itself and the metaverse that it's also kind of hard to predict where we're going to be in like even a year's time because of all the new things that's coming around, all the new possibilities, all the new people coming into the space. It's really hard to predict like what's going to be the future. Where will Meta Party be in a year's time, right? We can guide it and we can try and aim to go in a certain direction, but the community kind of decide where it goes in reality. If no one turns up to an event that we do, it's like, right, well, that event was rubbish, obviously nobody turned up for a reason, so we'll stop doing that. So yeah, the community kind of guide where we go with things. It also it's all what Decentraland's about. It's a decentralized platform. There's a DAO that you can vote on. You can create your own wearables. Anyone can do what we're kind of creating with Meta Party as well. I love that accessibility for people. If you know how to create a MetaMask, if you know how to form a connection with someone in the metaverse, then you can make anything happen.
And it's interesting because there's been so many different things that we've done, just in different like capacities or whatever. But it's just been fun, like, and a lot of people have talked like on a more serious note where there's meetups like that have been happening. My friend Jerome's been running meetups. Shout out to him, Blockchain Universe. They've been running meetups for over 2 years in alt spaces. There's meetups where people are meeting, they're networking, they're going and they're having business plans, they're having sobriety meetings, they're having support groups, all these things that are happening, and
Awesome.
why not have it all here too? And it's just like it's I don't know, I like it.
For
I
sure,
like it a
man.
lot.
I've
This
never
is what
thought
this
about. Sorry, I've never thought about like support groups or sobriety meetings, but that's another awesome possibility from the metaverse for
another
sure.
artist that we met down in in New York and then in Miami. Her name's Mary Rose. She's talked about this too, where imagine a kid in a home that can't get access to going out to see a doctor or a therapist or
Yeah,
whatever, or they're in an abusive house or whatever, or just somebody in some bad situation that maybe they can go somewhere and talk to other people and figure all this stuff out and realize that holy shit, I am, maybe I can learn how to do like that's the other thing too. Who would have thought, like I think 6 months ago, how many people like quit their jobs and showing their boss like JPEGs? That's where I'm going.
yeah,
Like I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, who do you mean? I'm going to become a cartoon character or I'm going to become like whatever. All these jobs that came out of it. Like for someone like me building a comedy club, there were so many brick walls that I ran into and I'm like, how do I hurdle this? How do I get through this one? I asked the
yeah,
community and they helped. But the help that came from the community are people who know how to build 3D this is or whatever and 3D that's. And guess what? They're all getting compensated for it in their own way.
for
It's a
sure.
whole new
Yeah,
world and economy and a business of people that can just wear sweatpants all day, drink coffee and smoke weed and, goof around on their computer, go outside, have, exercise and come back in and that's their
yeah,
job. And it's incredible. Which
it
is
really is.
after all that, I think we kind of answered this next question, which is like, why are you here? Like, what, but
Right.
all this genuine
That,
stuff that we both just said, like,
yeah. It's also
what
like
do you get out of it?
I've got a passion for the metaverse. I've got a passion for, providing these events and these interactive things for my community to take part in. The real reason I'm here is because how much I enjoy being here and how much I enjoy doing the work for Meta Party, how much I enjoy planning upcoming projects, how much I enjoy networking with new people, even talking with like people like yourself who I've worked with in the past. Um, it's a really entertaining space to be in for sure. Compare it to the job I was doing before I got into the metaverse. It was working in a hotel as like just as a receptionist. It was like the most boring thing ever, literally. And it's gone from one extreme being the most boring job you can try and imagine to the most interesting, exciting place that you can possibly be involved in my opinion. Like I wake up every morning, I'm like, what is new in the metaverse today? What can I go and teach myself about? What can I introduce to my community? What sort of wearables can we be creating? uh there's so many reasons why I'm here, to be honest, mate. There really is. It's also like so many good vibes when you come across people. Like, yes, it is the internet still, right? You're gonna get trolls, you're gonna get scammers, spammers, etc. But you should expect that when you interact with anything on the internet, the emails, Twitter, Instagram, especially the metaverse. It's going to be present anywhere you go, especially in like Web3, right? So I still think that all the positive interactions and situations and projects that are coming out of Meta Party, coming out of Decentraland, completely outweigh and overpower any sort of scammers, bots, etc. It just makes you look past it completely, and you kind of expect it because, like, I remember going into like an OG metaverse, like GTA, for example, right? Online GTA is a metaverse in a way. Um, you get loads and loads of trolls, spammers, people who try and harass you in them sort of spaces. So expect it in the metaverse, but the amount of positivity that comes from it, the amount of like wag me attitude and mindsets that are here, it's just such a positive space to be in, and it's really enjoyable to be creating new opportunities for communities, for even people like yourself, right? To offer a comedian and a chance to come perform in the metaverse. They're normally hyped about doing that. They're normally like, really excited to come and perform to a different type of audience. So loads of people get so many benefits out of different projects, and yeah, it's just a really cool space to be in.
Yeah, it was much more exciting than doing like a Zoom show, because you're there, you're
Yeah,
interacting, you can hear them, they can run up and they, when they clap, you see their hands, and the heart emojis and people dancing, like it's
exactly.
really fun. And all this cliche or not, I think of all the things that, all these positive benefits are really just from all the people that are there. It's fun. Like
Yeah,
all the people in the community. And this is one of these things where if you can humble yourself to know that all your studies in school and all the things that you may have done, you could throw all that shit out the window and just create an avatar, come figure shit out in a video game, um, and let yourself kind of go. Like one of the great things is like the roasts that happen in the Discord chats and Meta
Yeah.
Party, and I'm sure this exists in every community. But God, you say the wrong thing once in a chat, and then people just rip through your social media profiles, pull your face off, and then just start memeing the shit out of you. And let it happen because it's fun. Because then it's your turn to throw the ball around too. And if you take that shit personally, and it like this is one of those fine lines between like trolling and like your boy's messing with you. You know what I mean? Like your
Yeah.
homie's like messing around with you. And if you let it happen, like, and it's just, and you can dish it back, like I don't know, it makes people a lot more like funny, stronger. Like, you know,
For
the
sure.
coolest things about memes and how quickly they can be made. Like if you're sharp, you can throw out a quick meme in like 30 to 40 seconds, right? And
Yeah.
that didn't
Yeah.
exist a long time ago. And it's just like so much more talent is like shining in so many different ways. And it comes through here. So you're right. It's no different than an online video game that was centralized or whatever. And there may have been like a bunch of servers that are running it that we have no control over. But like, so this is
Yeah.
really no different. So expect that all. I'm glad you even said like, you know, you deal with this shit in emails. Like all you do in an email with a troll is just delete it, report it to spam.
Literally. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in a troll situation here, I mean, there's ways to deal with it. Like,
You can just
you know,
block the
even
person in the in Decentraland or Madagascar. You can just block them or hide the profile from
mm-hmm.
like coming up. Literally, um,
Well,
yeah.
that was one
You
thing
always
I
want to
learned
get that.
from your party. One of the
Yeah,
party that you guys had in Madagascar, where it was like, well, if everybody mutes the same, like that's community, like that's almost like a community vote where it's like, no, we none of us want to hear you, so we can all click on your profile and just mute you, and so you can yell as loud as you want. So, I
right.
mean, that's a power of like that's real power of community right there. It's neat.
Yeah, literally. You're
Um,
right, man. You've also got to be kind of wary. Like there's some communities, I'm not gonna like name drop, right? But there's some communities who might stream or have their own Discord, and they kind of encourage the memes and the trolls a bit. So it turns it into like a trolling community, and you kind of attract trolls, right? It's a very fine line you've got to like balance. So yes, introduce all these memes and all of the competitions you can do, but make it lighthearted and fun, right? If you see
yes,
anyone that's
yeah,
genuine trying to offend someone and like hurt them in a way, you've got to like nip it in the bud straight away and either like have a word with them or kick them from the server if they don't stop it, because it's
right.
all about still making it like a positive experience for people. You don't want someone to come into your Discord and get trolled for nothing at all, right? Like
It
if we
happens.
introduce a meme comment, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we were
you're right.
part of
It does
something where a
happen.
guy jumped in. I think it was on a Twitter space, and a guy jumped in and told a very like just racist joke, and it just bombed. It was,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
forget the horrible content. It was just a it was poorly constructed. So he's like, "What do you guys think of that?" We're just
literally.
like, wah, wah. Like it was just like, go away, man. This isn't. And I don't think he came back. So, and it's just kind
No,
of one of these things where it's like you turn your back on that kind of crap or whatever. You figure out how to deal with it. But you're right, man. No matter what, all the other benefits outweigh all this crap, and it's
yeah,
just
I
tiny,
agree.
whatever. So I'm sure you've had a lot, I guess, and metaverse specifically. Like, I always ask people like, what's their best and then their worst, like crypto experience. But so yeah, so what's been your? Let's start with the best because the worst ones are usually funny.
Yeah, right, fair enough. Yeah, my best experience I'd probably say was like creating my first wearable. When they introduced like layer 2 wearables on Polygon. I was like a big fan of the layer 1 wearables, which were on Ethereum network. So I was like picking up quite a few different wearables and still growing the meta party community at the same time. Then they introduced it so community creators can publish their own NFTs that avatars can wear in the game. That's like a brief kind of description of what a wearable is for anyone listening who doesn't know. Yeah, when they introduced them, we made our first wearable. It sold out. That was probably like uh one of my favorite moments. There's been a lot of like amazing moments that came up recently, some that I can't talk about on a podcast, some that I can, but
Mhm.
yeah, that does stand out a lot to me. Like when I look back at what's happened, that was like, wow, you can grow community organically, give them something that's like actually like benefits them. Like they want to have this wearable. People want to have this wearable in the game. They want to wear it around. It looks cool to them, etc. And they can
Right,
purchase it and support Meta Party through this wearable. It wasn't a cash grab. It wasn't like um,
right.
you know, it wasn't like
It
a
was
3D
genuine.
model we
Like
got
it.
off Sketchfab. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It wasn't like a 3D model we got off Sketchfab and just edited a little bit. Like we came up with the design from scratch. We based it around like real life inspirations, etc., and made it happen. And brought it to our community, and it just took off, man. Everyone enjoyed it. So that's probably one of my favorite moments.
That's exciting. And anybody can do that.
Is
Like, I mean, I shouldn't say everybody can, but like for them, anybody like can take the time and figure out how to do that. So, I mean, this is you, like,
sure.
that's a perfect example of like the formula of like an artist finding their way on here, doing it on their own, reaching out to community and
Yeah,
stuff, but like essentially doing it on your own, putting your work out there and then seeing the results from it, which is cool. I like that,
for
man.
sure.
That's
For
what
sure,
this,
man. I
that's
also,
what this
uh,
should be for.
for sure. Another highlight is Decentraland reaching out and offering us 12 parcels to work on, which is where you see our new HQ.
Yeah.
Like we don't own land in Decentraland. I don't actually own the parcels that we work on. We just have operator rights on them parcels. Like Decentraland have said here for the next year, you guys can have this space. You can host any events you
It's
want on
great.
it in that space as much as you want, as often as you want. We trust the process. We trust what you guys are doing, and we want to support that. So that was also like a big achievement, right? But there's more to that I can't reveal on a podcast. I can tell you
Sure.
about it personally, right? But I
Sure.
can't reveal it on a podcast. There's too many big things happening that's coming soon. Yeah.
Well, no, that's and it's just, I get that.
Yeah.
So no, but it just to know that everybody's watching, like even down to like when
Yeah.
Decentraland retweets you, and Decentraland has
Yeah.
retweeted me before. Like it says, like even if it's just some dude on the toilet managing a Twitter account, the fact that they're noticing and saying, "Cool, we see you, we recognize you, we want the rest of the community to see it too," just says a lot, man.
Yeah.
And the fact
Definitely, man.
so just like a retweet's one thing, but then for them to say, "Here's 12 parcels we want you to manage," that just says that says a lot. So
It does.
no,
It really
it's exciting
does.
to be a part of it all, man. All right, so then
Sure.
what's been your worst experience so far?
Oof. Worst experience.
Because there's a positive
Um,
follow up, by the way. But go
there
ahead.
is. Yeah. Very great. When I first kind of created Meta Party, it was when the Decentraland had only like 200 players in the game per day, right? At one time there was like max 200 people in. If you look now, there's thousands in at one time. We created this brand Meta Party. We wanted to host events. We minted the Decentraland name. We created the Twitter, etc. We were doing everything for like a month or two, and then we randomly got tagged by this guy on Twitter, and he was like, "Hey, don't ever associate yourself with Meta Party. These guys
Mm.
copied my idea." And we were like, "What? What are you talking about? We haven't never even heard of this guy before, right? Never even heard of him." And he started tagging Decentraland in his posts that he was writing. So everything he posted to Twitter, he was tagging like at in Decentraland, so they see his post,
Oh,
seeing what's
right.
going on. And we were like, what the hell is happening here, man? Like he's essentially trying to like tarnish the name for no reason, claiming that we, like stole his idea, even though we already minted the NFT. We bought that
Right.
NFT, right? Like months before he even created his Twitter account. Okay, you know what I mean? Like we purchased the actual name and IP rights in a way, months before he even said that he had this idea. So it's essentially he like kept on tagging Decentraland, Meta Party, me, New Legends. I wasn't replying because it was complete nonsense, right? So I'm just
Sure.
looking at it like, come on, I'm not going to fade into this like toxicity or whatever you want to call it. But Chris took it to heart a little bit because, as you would, right, we genuinely haven't like copied anyone from any of our
Right.
ideas, right? Everything that we do is like organic and unique. But yeah, like Chris was like, why is this guy like tagging Decentraland? Like this just doesn't look good for us. And it was at a time when everything was brand new. Like there wasn't many people tagging Decentraland at all. If
Oh,
you did
wow.
say it, if
So
you did tag them, Decentraland was going to say it. You know what I mean? So we didn't want to like get this bad reputation out of complete nonsense. It kind of all just fizzled out after me just not fading back into it, like just being like, let this troll or whatever it is, just do his thing. He ended up
right.
he kept going for like maybe 10 hours posting these tweets, literally like 10 hours. And then all of
Wow.
a sudden I checked back, he deleted his account. So the account was just gone, literally, and never heard from that guy ever again in the entire space. But yeah, it was that was just like what is happening,
Probably a very
that's when
long
you
10
realize.
hours.
Exactly, right. That's when you realize this is still the internet. This is still like you're still gonna get trolls. You're still gonna get people who want to try and bring you down for just
Right.
complete like illegitimate reasons. But that's like the only real bad experience I've had, to be honest, mate. You get like these random people who are saying these crazy things in Decentraland sometimes, like trolls, as I'm saying. You get people who are going around spamming you, or like people who maybe spam you on Discord and say like, see, we're doing an NFT giveaway, right? And we have like a free NFT for everyone who attends our event. We've got hundreds of wallets to send out. If we accidentally miss one, right, like just by accident, and we send like 299 out of 300 out, right, that one
Right.
person messages us and then kind of gets a bit annoyed, and he's like, "Yo, where's my wearable? I took part in this event. It was, he said it was a free
Sure.
wearable to claim. Like, what's happening, And we were like, "Oh, well, mate, like, we literally just forgot. Like, well,
Right.
we sent out to 299 wallets. Like, we just missed one. We just literally missed one. We'll send you it right now." And he was like, "You know what? I never want to be associated with MetaPie ever again. You guys promise something you can't deliver. Like, look, mate, I'll send you the NFT right
I'm
now. We literally just
sending it to
missed
you.
one wallet. Literally, yeah.
Right.
Like, I sent it to you. We literally just missed one wallet, right? And it was,
Right.
yeah, just continue to go in about it. So it's like, please yourself, mate.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure you
Yeah,
get stuff like that
yeah,
too.
yeah,
People have been very, I don't know. I haven't run into that. It was one of the, and I learned this the hard way because I had a bunch of, I had some NFTs on Ethereum, and one of the
yeah,
parties that I said, hey, everybody that attended, you guys were like, it was a really fun show, and I think it
yeah,
was one of the ones where we stuck around and we're doing parkour afterwards, and I was like, yo, you guys are a blast. Everybody that's here, DM me your address if you don't want to put it out publicly, and I'll send you it all in NFT. Yo, it cost me hundreds of dollars to
yeah.
send them all out. I didn't give a shit. It was just like, it was one of those whoopses. And, as I think I talked to you about it too afterwards, and you were like, bro, you could have done X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, I know, whatever. I just kind of got caught. I was excited. I was like, I love you guys. I'm sending you all an NFT. To get caught in a
Yeah,
moment, but whatever. That may have
for
been
sure.
my quote unquote worst with a lowercase w experience. I don't know. Now, but so well, the final question is, I mean, what can people do? To what should people know? In walking into
Yeah,
this space, because this isn't something that you can just run freely, like
yeah.
metaphorically naked
So
through. Like,
yeah, you're right. You're right. A lot of people come into the space because they've seen some sort of TikTok about earning money from the metaverse or earning money from like NFTs, etc. So they come in, for example, they'll join the Meta Party Discord. They'll be like, "Hey, how can I earn money from the space?" Which is fair enough, right? I understand people want to come into the space for that reason. But yeah, you've got to kind of come in and realize that Decentraland itself, maybe other metaverses are different. Decentraland itself, the way that I view Decentraland is like a global cafe instead of like a game,
hmm,
right? Obviously, someone can create a mini game, deploy it on the land for you to take part in. You can maybe earn an NFT for that, right? But the way I see it mainly is like this space is for people to come network with each other, meet people from across the globe, come up with these amazing projects, host some events on land, just really
right,
get into the Web3 communities, really immerse yourself with people who have so much knowledge about crypto, metaverse, but don't just take everyone's advice as financial advice. There's a lot of people who maybe are so bullish on one project, and you look at it yourself and you're like, that project just doesn't interest me. So maybe come into the Decentraland, bearing in mind that it's more of a global cafe than a game, and that you've got to network with people. You've got to create a MetaMask to really own a wearable. Don't create like a Fortmatic or whatever they're called. Like, they're just some basic challenges you have to get past before you're coming into the space, and you can really like take part in free giveaways. You can take part in Pope
hmm,
claiming activities, etc. Maybe do a bit of research. There's loads of awesome videos you can watch. For example, I would give a shout out to Tobik, right? I'm sure you're aware of Tobik, Mike. He makes some awesome content centered around Decentraland mainly. And yeah, his videos are so informational, and it's only like a 5 minute clip, but you can learn so much from that 5 minutes that you're missing out if you're not watching them. Like, even me, I've
I'm
been in this
writing.
space for a year.
Yeah.
You're writing it down, yeah, yeah,
No, I was
writing,
just gonna
yeah,
say
yeah,
I'm writing
Tobik.
down to put a link in the video in the description
Oh,
below to Tobik's videos. I've watched them. Tobik. I
amazing.
remember. I remember that, like, he came in as this character and like was very. He's just this very soft. You'll hear his voice as soon as you see it. You click the link and start watching these videos. Like, this is
Yeah,
definitely a great place to learn. He really like holds your hand and kindergartens you through it. But
yeah,
I remember him coming through as just like he just was like this tiny little character with this tiny little voice and was hilarious though, and just
yeah,
kind of
he
became
was.
this like just this character part of like the meta part of family. Like, it really is. It's like a whole
Yeah,
community. Um,
yeah,
no, but I like
exactly.
him a lot,
Yeah,
and
he's
I've
class,
learned.
man. He
Shout out
makes
to
them.
Tobik. Yeah,
He got, so something you can do in Decentraland for people listening. You can create a proposal. So you have some sort of project you want to introduce, but you don't have the funding behind it to create that project. You can make a proposal on the DAO, which is the Central Autonomous Organization of Decentraland. You can make a proposal on there. You can request, for example, let's say $1,000 for a wearable, for example. They're not always going to approve it. It's down to the community who have voting power. So when you hold mana, you have voting power. So the community decide if your project should be passed or not. You also need to reach a certain amount of votes to get your project passed. But
right.
Tobik created a proposal where essentially he asked the Decentraland to pay him a fee every time he makes a video around Decentraland. I think it's a fee per month, I believe. And yeah, he essentially gets paid like $1,000 every video he makes on Decentraland now, and that was
What?
through the DAO. Yeah. I mean, it's worth it. His content is
Wow.
seriously like really educational. Like it really does help all the users, or like it helps onboard a lot of people as well. It, like you said, it kind of holds your hand and talks you through the entire process. He's got everything from
Does.
creating a MetaMask to how to earn money in Decentraland. So yeah, that's just one example of how Decentraland can benefit someone and earn them a living. He's also from Argentina, right? I don't mean to like put down
Um,
undeveloped countries, but you know, $1,000 per month is like a lot of money to have in Argentina, right? You can probably pay rent, all your food, etc., for that entire month with that $1,000. Um, so it's awesome that these opportunities are here. That's just Tobik, right? That's one guy.
right.
That's
That's just
one
one
proposal that
person.
was passed. Yeah, and that's it's quite, when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, that's actually quite a low proposal that was passed. So he only gets $1,000 per video. Obviously, it's a lot of money depending where you are in the world. But there's someone who got a proposal passed for, I think it was 120,000 US dollars, and it was for a game inside the Decentraland, I believe, or something that contributes to the platform. Also, there's people like Kevin on Earth who's had big proposals be passed with big investments, etc. So,
Wow.
if you've got a really cool idea, right? If you've got something in your head that you've thought up about after kind of researching around Decentraland, maybe being in it yourself, you can put that to the community for them to vote on, maybe back you and kickstart that idea.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that about Tobik. I think that's exciting. I think that and not even just about him, just the I guess I know all this stuff in theory, but to hear all this stuff that you can do is incredible. So yeah, this
Yeah.
not so Decentraland. I'm sure you could do this every in just about
Right.
anywhere. But
Right.
but do it, try it. It's incredible. All
Yeah,
right, cool.
yeah.
Well,
The reason why I kind of shield Decentraland is that's mainly where Meta Party are based.
sure,
That's where the majority of our community are from. So when I think metaverse, I just instantly think Decentraland because I'm not in Sandbox right now. I don't own land in Sandbox. I don't own land
same,
in crypto voxels, etc. So it's like the metaverse to me is Decentraland. Obviously, that's going to change over time. But yeah, to me, like when I see a metaverse, I'm just instantly thinking Decentraland.
sure. Well,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, that's where most of your magic is happening. So
you're right,
it's
mate.
exciting.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm making my magic happen on crypto voxels. And but
For
it's
sure,
all
man.
it's Meta Party is the thing for me. Comedyverse is the thing, and as much as Decentraland has to offer, as much as all these other places have to offer, I'm sure
Yeah,
the idea to be able to pick your project up and plug it into wherever you need to go in the future is the most important part. And
for sure.
no harm, nobody cares. They care about you. People don't come to well, they do come to Decentraland because it's awesome, but they're coming to Meta Party because it's Meta Party.
Right.
You know,
Right. You hit the nail
so
on the head there, mate. Yeah. You're right. They,
so
they come because it's, they can see the community behind it as well.
it's fun,
When you come into Decentraland, then you go to one of these events. Even if it's not a Meta Party event, you're still going to get immersed into a community of a streamer or another project who, for example, like Oilcoin Radio, they host loads of events and they also stream a bit as well, I believe. And they've got a big community growing. That's just one project. You've got like Last Slice, you've got Zoo, you've got loads of awesome creators in Decentraland. So if you come in, don't even just look for Meta Party. Go and get into every community, guys. Literally, like you need to get yourself out there, network with as many people as you can, because all of the people who are putting things together in Decentraland are really passionate about the projects that they're doing. There's also people who are kind of, doing some cash grabs, etc. But you can see that yourself. All you've got to do is just look at, it's the blockchain. Everything's viewable
right?
for anyone. You can do all your research yourself. You can see past projects that founders have done, etc. So yeah, you've got to do your own research when you come into this space as well, hugely without, uh, you know, kind of burning yourself from it. So you could come in, you can put mana on
Sure,
your MetaMask, and then you can think, all right, I'm going to buy some wearables, and I'm going to make $60,000 in 10 years or whatever, right?
right,
It's moving away from that, in my opinion. It used to be, I'm going to buy this wearable because in 10 years' time, the Decentraland's going to be so popular, and this wearable is going to be worth so much money. It's
right.
now more about, I'm going to buy this wearable to support this community and this creator, and because the
Hmm.
wearable is also sick to wear. And there's still people who try and buy NFTs and wearables to flip them, and it is possible to make money from flipping wearables. I know there's some people in the community that do. do that. But you can't do it on every wearable, right? You can't hop in, go buy a wearable for 1 mana, and there's like 10,000 of these wearables, and you think, right, I'm going to relist it for 10 mana, and someone's going to
Right.
buy it, right? That's just not
Right.
going to happen. Literally, yeah.
I
Literally.
guess it's like real life, clothing, right? In a sense where like I wear a t-shirt because it's like my boy's company or whatever, or like I'll wear something, because it's like I'm affiliated with them somehow, or like I
Yeah,
like them, right? I want to support them.
yeah,
Um, or I could spend this so I could spend $20 on my friend's like company t-shirt
yeah,
and support it. Or I could go spend $1,000 on like a, very rare whatever that I'll either wear once or like so. So I guess it's the same exact thing, right? But yeah, no, I agree with you in the sense that like, yeah, this isn't something that you're buying. Like this isn't Bitcoin all over again. It's not like we're
right.
buying a bunch of like Meta Party sneakers and hoping one day they're going to be worth $28,000 each.
You could probably do that
Um,
with land, though, right? Like, if you're going to do
land is
that, then you need
different.
to, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. If you own metaverse land, especially like Decentraland or Sandbox at the moment, I would be very positive about the idea in 10 years' time that this land could be worth 100 times what it is right now because of all the big companies coming into the spaces. Like
I
imagine
agree.
if Amazon come in and open up a shop in Decentraland. Like,
Mm-hmm.
everyone's going to
No,
benefit
I
from
agree.
that, literally. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I agree.
um some people don't want these big companies coming in because it might take away from the decentralization, but there's 99,000 plots of land, so everyone who owns a plot of land gets some sort of voting power from that as well. It's almost like impossible to buy up the entire plot of the Decentraland because some people might not want to sell the metaverse land, even for like a ridiculous offer. They might not want to sell it because they've got
Sure.
such a good project going on, a community behind it. Maybe they don't even need the money, right? There's a lot of people who are in here that are whales as well. You can come across a lot of people who are whales that might,
Sure.
pick up 20 wearables if you drop one, or who might own 100 plots of land. And they're also like really valuable connections to have, right? I mean, it's obvious why. But yeah, you can meet people from all walks of life. You can meet people who, they'll openly tell you, I don't have money to put into a wearable right now. You can have people that openly tell you, I'm worth like this amount of money. So it is a lot of like showboating as well. That's what wearables are about. If you own this wearable, you get some sort of status because your wearable was worth 100 mana, and that's like $300 you're spending on an NFT. So you kind of get some sort of status in the game. People look at you just like you wearing like a
Sure.
Gucci cap or something, right? They'll be like, oh,
Yep.
look at that dude wearing a Gucci cap with a Rolex. They're going to do the same thing with wearables in Decentraland.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
exciting, man.
it is, mate.
So well, I'm happy to have I don't know, I'm just happy to be a part of it all too. Especially with you
For
guys.
sure,
It's
mate.
just exciting. And then I don't know. So where can people follow you guys?
They can follow us on Twitter. We've got a Discord going. The Twitter is MetaPartyDCL. If you go to the Twitter page in our bio, there's a link to our Discord, link to our websites there as well. Um, you can also check out some of our past events with Mike. I believe we've got pre-recordings up on YouTube of them events from like
Yep.
a while ago. I think we've got a few up, maybe one or two, and that you can go and check out and see what it was like in Meta Party a couple of months ago. You can see the progression. You can see even how much Mike's changed in his performances in Decentraland. You're a lot more comfortable with it now, mate. I wouldn't say you were uncomfortable at all to begin with, because obviously you're experienced in what you do. But it's a new thing, right? You're coming across
Sure.
people. You can't see the face, you can't see the reaction, you can't see like how much like positivity they're giving you from your performance. You can only see the remotes or kind of hear a
Right.
laugh on the call or something. So
Well, no, I appreciate you
it's
saying that.
awesome.
I'm like that with a lot of my comic friends. And we always talk about each other's progression, like, over a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
And it's interesting that you say that. I mean, because I can definitely put you in that category. You've seen me perform a bunch of times. You've heard different
yeah,
material, you've heard the same material, you've heard it all kind of like twisted around or whatever. But you're absolutely right. And
definitely.
I'm not above saying that. Yeah, not that it was awkward or whatever. Like all the thrill and excitement and adrenaline in the first show was like just carried most of the energy, because I was like, this is crazy. I'm here. I'm a real character. But you're right. Like this is one of those things where repetition is the mother of skill. Like the more and more and more you do it. I mean, think about you guys and how you were in the beginning too. Now it's just kind of like I'm there. I know how to deal with whatever, and I have fun. But yeah, man, no, I appreciate you pointing that out, man. Because you have seen, I've only been what do you even call it, a metaverse character for a better part of a year. So I'm still a baby with this part of it, just because I've had experience in real life and stand up comedy. That's different. I can see their faces. I know how to direct the room differently because I can read it all.
Yeah, for sure, mate.
Here it's
Yeah,
different,
I get exactly what
but
you're saying. Yeah.
yeah,
It is. It's very different, but you can also get like I feel like you get less like people who are going to speak out and kind of what are they called in comedy? I know there's a specific name for them.
heckler, like a heckler.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, heckler. You kind of get
yeah,
less as well, right? Less
sure,
hecklers because everyone's kind of muting the mic and just letting you do your thing. Especially if
right.
it's like even a pre-recorded video like we had the other night at the HQ.
Oh yeah,
Nobody can go and like say like like they can't heckle you on a pre-recorded video. They can't heckle you
yeah.
when
You're
when
just
we're on a
yelling at
stage.
the TV. Yeah,
Exactly. I mean, it
right.
takes away from some people's performances. Like Jimmy Carr is kind of about that in a way, right? He likes when people heckle him because he can then just abuse the guy who heckled him, right? So it might
Yeah,
take away from some comedians' performances, but it might give more to others.
right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's some
Yeah,
comics that are just like that. They just wait for it. I mean, Jimmy's just got grenades ready for you. Like the second
literally.
he sees your head move, he's like, "Pow!" So it's a wrap. So now I get that. All right, listen, Rez, I appreciate this. Appreciate you being here. Everybody follow Meta Party, follow Rez on Twitter, and just look at what they're doing. I mean, join their Discord and the community's awesome. It really is.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, and I'm there
Thank you
too.
for
You'll see me. We're all there.
yeah, with me, we appreciate you a lot, especially like the founders. So we got co-founders at Meta Party. I am a co-founder
Really do.
myself. And then we got T3,
Oh,
aka Lo-Fi. We've got New Legends. All three of us love it when Mike comes through to our events. We get hyped about it ourselves because we can remember what it was like to begin with, and then we can see how awesome this event's going to be having Mike here, and our entire community kind idolizes Mike in a way, right? You're like
I
an
love it.
icon of Meta Party, mate. Literally, it's class. It's so good. But thank you for having me, mate. Really enjoyed it.
Anytime, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for
Awesome.
joining us. You've been here with us on the moon, on the very first blockchain metaverse podcast studio on the moon. Make sure you subscribe. See you next time.